Hello there, Lisa Fitzgibbon here from Project 7 and welcome to our check-in service. So this is where we're going to hook up with our previous headline producers and our alumni from all around the world. We're going to find out where you are, what you're doing, what you're working on, how you're doing it, that kind of thing. Anyone who's been to one of our Project 7 events knows what an intensely challenging and rewarding week it can be, where forever friendships are made and creative connections that last are created. And this is the check-in service. So we're going to try and put everyone together so we can hook you up with your Project 7 kin. Today we're checking in with singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, music producer and Project 7 alumni, Paul Edwards. Based in South Wales, Paul is a professional media composer and producer, composing music for television and film from his Resonance Music Studio. With over 25 years' experience, Paul has performed with ensembles of all genres of music, as a soloist singer-songwriter to playing electric guitar in 5-piece bands. He's also an accomplished French horn player, having performed in symphony orchestras, and he has sung in Welsh male voice choirs. A versatile musician and composer, Paul Edwards is an inspiring artist with a great future ahead of him. Hello, Paul. It's Lisa Fitz here, checking in. How are you?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure, treasure. So tell me, where are you, Paul?
So I'm in the home studio. This is my room that I work in. Yeah, it works. It works for me. So
what part of the planet is this home studio?
I'm in South Wales. I'm in Bridgend.
Lovely part of the world.
Yes, yeah. It's thankfully, I've got various walks that well, I can get into the countryside within 10 minutes of walking. So it's we can get out and we can escape when we need to.
Brilliant. So what are you working on at the moment, Paul?
Just before we loaded up this session, I've got a drone which I'm working on at the moment. I'm working more towards television music.
Okay.
So there was a brief which came through asking for various dark drones. I'm pitching more towards that type of work. But then I've also had I'm working for a company at the moment where they ask for it's like music for businesses, so corporate music. So I was quite pleased. I had a project came through the end of last week. It's a quick turnaround type thing. Mm-hmm. Master buyout is the agreement. But yeah, it's kind of like you're given the brief. You got to get the song completed in a few days, and then you get paid at the end of it. So that's quite nice. But yeah, thankfully this one which I did this week. Well, I had the brief come through on Friday. I sent it to them on Monday, and Monday afternoon they said, "Yeah, that's good, great."
Great output. Nice turnaround. That's what we like. No notes coming back. That's great.
No notes coming back.
I've been talking to a lot of our Project 7 headliners and alumni about this exact point, remote working and how to communicate with people, whether you're in lockdown or not. So do you have any preferences when you're working remotely with people, or do you just take it job by job?
Working remotely with people, as for the company I've just mentioned, that will usually come through as an email. And communication is then by email.
Okay. Only email. You don't do any sort of FaceTime or any sort of talk.
Not with that company, but I am linked to various people. There are various Facebook forums, and I've made some great connections with different people. FaceTime videos are the way to go. Mm-hmm. And the nice thing is you get the chance to speak to people from all over the world. And I think there's a couple of guys that I'm working with at the moment. It's just nice to see. Sometimes you're on the same wavelength. Sometimes I'm thinking of something, and the guy says, "No, man, you can't do that." And it's a great way to build and develop. Communicate with people, talk to people, ask questions.
Mm. So let's talk a little bit about your home studio, Paul, because I remember seeing pictures of you building it. particularly about the acoustic treatment that you've put in there. So can you explain to us a little bit about your recording space?
You can do two things. You can do DIY, you can build your own, or you can buy ready-made products for acoustic treatment. I've had mixed successes with making my own. So this step up on the back wall, those are bass traps. They're put into the corners to catch the corners of where the bass tends to build up. Those ones on the back, they're relatively inexpensive, but they do a job. Then over here, these are my more expensive bass traps. These are kind of behind my listening point. And these are kind of like mega bass traps. These are ones which I purchased. But then over behind my speakers, I have got my own DIY option, which I put together. I am not the way that you kind of like build a bass trap. You need rock wool, you need a timber frame, and you need some fabric. But I'm not overly keen on having rock wool in the space where I spend a lot of time every day in, day out. I'm not in the most desirable space. My room isn't the biggest. So I've done my best with acoustic treatment. You have to have acoustic treatment. I think it's, if you haven't got it, there's going to be problems with your mixing. You're not going to be able to hear. You'll hear what sounds good in the room, but your room will. Your room could have like peaks and troughs in certain frequencies, and it's going to skew your mix when you send it off to people. So I've done my best with acoustic treatment, but I also use a program called SonarWorks, which is it's like a speaker calibration software, and it'll calibrate your speakers so that when you're working, you will get a better frequency response from your listening point. The program will send out various blips and beeps and various sound waves. And what it does is the program comes supplied with a microphone. You then test various points in your room. It will listen with the microphone and it will make a measurement. And then the idea is it'll put an EQ curve on your speakers for when you're working afterwards. So yeah, I'd recommend get acoustic treatment and this program called SonarWorks. SonarWorks Reference 4. It's I think it's a good program. Right. I see lots of I mentioned about Facebook forums. There's all sorts of discussions about using things like calibration software or use the way that you use acoustic treatment. I think there's an agreement that acoustic treatment is a must. Sometimes you see arguments about calibration software, but I like using this software.
So what's your ideal songwriting setup, Paul? Just explain your process a little bit to us and what you like your space to feel like and what's in your space.
Well, say like your space has got to be ready. You want to be able to sit down and you want to be able to just start creating music straight off the bat. I've got my desk right here. I've got say my guitars are already rigged up. My microphones are already rigged up. You don't want to be thinking I want to create a piece of music and then you've got to spend half an hour setting up a microphone. If you're being creative, you just want to capture that moment there and then. So yeah, I've got my desk set up so it's as quick as possible that I can get an idea down. I'm also now experimenting with the idea of templates in my DAW. Okay. So I never used to be able to do it. My system wasn't powerful enough, but I've recently upgraded. So it means that I can have in a DAW session, my pianos, my brass, my strings, my orchestra elements, my drums, my bass. I can have pretty much a template ready to go. It sounds good, once you put that sound in. By the time you get to the end of your idea, it sounds great. It helps kind of like the creative process, and it also like works towards building the mix.
So Paul, you were with us at Project 7 2017 and 2018, and you've worked with some great producers, and you've
Yeah.
made some really good friends, and you've met some amazing musicians as well that you've continued working with. What's one of your most memorable Project 7 moments, if you can recall just one of them?
Well, I had a fantastic time with Ian Archer. We were creating a piece of music, and I think with the way that he led the session, and just the group of people I was with, I don't know, we just all linked and we all connected, and we just had fun with the music writing that day. I don't know what it was, but I think we started the day before we started the day. You know, we started the day at breakfast where Ian started asking me some questions. You know, we had a bit of a discussion about my background, my interests. I was the reason that we were asking about myself. I was singing on the tracks, so I suppose I was able to lead things a little bit. But you know, even though, like, I suppose the main stimulus or the starting stimulus came from myself, you know, everybody got involved and we were all throwing ideas in. We just had great fun with it.
I remember that day because you were in the middle studio, in the Betty's Boudoir studio, and we could hear you all around the hotel. It was just, you were bouncing off the walls, you guys. And this is the song we're using for the theme tune for the check-in service. Which is called...
It's called Jelly Beans.
Jelly Bean, indeed.
Yeah.
That was written with Stefan Schmidt, Joanne Levy, yourself, Ian Archer. Have I missed anyone out?
Was it Christian?
Christian Mountney, of course, with Christian Mountney as well. So it was quite a busy studio that day, but you had quite a lot of fun, didn't you?
Yeah, we did, and kind of say I sang in the chorus, but then we had Stefan. He did the lead verse, you know. So it was great to kind of, like, I don't know. The song kind of evolved, and the idea of it kind of evolved through the day. And it was just great.
So working with someone of the caliber of Ian Archer that day, is there anything that he did that's kind of informed the way that you produce music now? Was there any sort of technique that he used that you thought, oh, I'm going to use that?
An important thing that he did, he made us all comfortable. The session worked really well. And the day just flew by. Obviously, like, if he was in control of that, he was like leading the session, you know. We were being a bit silly with it. We were having a laugh, but I think he let us loose. He let our creativity loose, you know. And I think that maybe that's why the song is successful. But, like, just sitting down with him and seeing what plugins he was using. I remember him talking about the Sound Toys suite, and there was a couple of things. So he used the Decapitator plugin. First thing I did when I got home, I thought, right, I'll buy the Decapitator plugin. It sounded great in the session. Let's use it.
Okay, so I'm going to throw some quick questions at you, Paul. Tell me what you prefer, cat or dog?
Oh, cat.
Wine or whiskey?
Wine.
White or red?
Red.
Red wine. I had you down for a white wine person, really.
No, I don't like white. Well, I'll drink it, but yeah.
Okay, acoustic or electric?
Well, the difficulty is I like both. I enjoy both. Electric's more fun.
Okay, then Gibson or Fender?
Gibson.
Yeah, I think we got that one earlier on. Stones or Beatles?
The Beatles.
Rugby or football?
Rugby.
Of course, being Welsh. Okay, the last one, night owl or early bird?
Well, I'm not really either.
Or both.
Yeah, I'm both. I don't like getting up in the morning. I'm rubbish at getting up in the morning. And then I'm not really much of a party animal. I'm a bit sad like that, I suppose.
So this lock-in suits you fine, huh?
Yeah, well, you know, with the lock-in, I think everyone would like to get back to some kind of normality, wouldn't they?
They would.
You know, when you're kind of like, I suppose I'm working in the house. I'm used to working in my setup. But yeah, it'd be nice to get back to just seeing people again, wouldn't it?
Thanks for checking in, Paul Edwards from Wales. It's nice to see your face.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's lovely to see you. Lovely to speak with you.
Always lovely to speak with you. And stay in touch and good luck with everything.
Yes, will do. Thank you, Lisa. You take care, right?
You too. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
For more info and to apply to one of our Project 7 songwriting retreats, visit us at project7.com.